The Iranian regime is a state sponsor of terrorism. It is repressive, theocratic, and misogynist. The IRGC leadership are terrorists. The IRGC is a terrorist organization. Today, by listing the IRGC under IRPA, and indeed by listing the broader leadership of the Iranian regime, we are formally recognizing that fact and acting accordingly. More than 10,000 senior members of this terrorist organization will be banned from ever setting foot in Canada. Anyone on this list will be sanctioned and prohibited from doing business or hiding their assets here. We will strengthen our crackdown on Iranian money laundering in Canada. We will not tolerate financial transactions with Iran that are associated with the IRGC and its proxies. As Foreign Minister, I was proud that we, the Parliament of Canada, with support across party lines, passed the Magnitsky sanctions law to hold corrupt foreign actors to account. We will use the Magnitsky Act together with all of the other tools in our toolbox to hold members of the IRGC to account for their gross violations of human rights, of women's rights in Iran. A little more than 1,000 days ago, Canadians were personally confronted with the brutality of this terrorist organization and this terrorist regime when Flight PS 752 was shot down. 55 Canadians and 33 permanent residents were among the 176 people murdered that night, many from my hometown of Edmonton. I spoke to many of the families in Edmonton a few days after that murderous attack. I'll never forget what that conversation was like. And I've spoken to some of them again this week. I know that they want Canada, their country, to do more. I want those families and all Iranian Canadians to know that our government will continue to take forceful action to hold this terrorist regime to account. Canada will not be a haven for the IRGC, for its money, for its leaders, or for their henchmen. We will continue to stand with all Iranian Canadians who are demanding justice for their friends, their families, and for all of the people, for all of the women of Iran. I'd like to say something very personal for a moment. For me, one of the things which is so remarkable about Canada is that so many people in Canada are here because they fled repressive regimes, or because their parents or grandparents fled repressive regimes. And what's really amazing about Canada is people who are here, having fled repression elsewhere, don't forget about that repression they experienced. They remember it, and they continue to fight for the freedom of the people who didn't have the good fortune of coming to Canada. And I think that is a huge strength of our country. That is what Iranian Canadians are doing right now. I am so proud of their activism, and I want them to know they are speaking for the women of Iran, for the students of Iran, for the people of Iran, and their government, the Canadian government, stands with them